Buying your first house is quite honestly the hardest and most stressful thing you'll ever do in your life. When you do it for the first time, being a first time buyer, it's so stressful and no one prepares you for it. So I'm going to tell you things that I wish I knew sooner as a first time buyer here in England, and hopefully you can take some of these tips and put them into good use, because I wish someone told me this when I first started. So just rewinding back, my personal story is that me and my boyfriend started the house buying process a lovely 4 months ago, where our offer got accepted at the start of August in 2024, and we are currently still in the process. So love that for us. Basically, we are still waiting on a few inquiries from the seller's solicitor, and that's just been how the whole 4 months has gone, basically. And it's something that I'll dive into. I know people say that buying your first house is really stressful, but you honestly do not understand the severity until you do it yourself for the first time. I was not prepared, like mentally not prepared at all. The amount of walks I've gone on to try and clear my head and, you know, tell myself it's all going to be okay, it's all happening for a reason, everything will work out. I've been struggling, I'm not going to lie to you. So topic number 1 is expect the unexpected. This is all down to timelines and delays, unfortunately. When you're going through the process, you will more than likely come across some form of delays. You know, some people do have very smooth processes in their house buying process. But for us and a lot of people that I know, it does take quite some time, and there will probably be things that crop up that will be super, super annoying. Basically, the entire process from mortgage accepted to getting the keys and completing and moving into your house is a lengthy process. There's a lot of things happening that you think will probably take like 1 or 2 weeks. No, it could take months. Like, we waited, for example, for one query, the last query from the seller's solicitor to our solicitor. It took her 4 weeks, 4.5 weeks actually, to answer a very simple question. And this was after a lot of, chases from our own solicitor, and she just ignored the email. So expect potential delays, prepare yourself for them, guys, and don't always believe what the estate agents or your own solicitors tell you. If they give you, an exchange date or a completion date, or just like, oh yeah, I think you'll move in by this date, don't trust them. See what it's like in terms of like the document process. If you've got a lot of documents back, then you're probably on the right track. But if things aren't really moving, then don't take what they say, just don't. The second point is, even if you choose the right and greatest solicitor, it isn't down to them. There's multiple solicitors in this process, and it will depend on the chain that you're in. Luckily for us, we're just in a chain of 3. It's us, the sellers that we're buying the house from, and also a property developer because they're moving into a new build. So our solicitor is amazing. He is so, so, so great. The seller's solicitor, however, is not so great. So basically, now we're just waiting on a few last inquiries from the property developer and the selling solicitor, because we're done now. But even though our solicitor has been amazing, the seller's solicitor has not. And it has led to so many delays, to the point where I swear there's been months of delays on this, and it's nothing to do with us, and we can't do anything about it, and neither can our solicitors. So basically, my advice to you is to help chase by using the estate agents. Now, they don't get enough credit. The estate agents are amazing, and you can contact them throughout the whole process, even though you're not the one that's selling your own house. They help chase the seller's solicitor or whoever is in the chain that isn't doing what they should. If there's delays, the estate agents can chase this, and we've had first-hand experience of that happening. We've had multiple delays. The seller's solicitor seems to think that things weren't, sent to her. They were, she just forgot about them. So the estate agents contacted her. It got done the same day. So if you feel stuck, if your own solicitor can't do anything at all, please call the estate agents that your sellers are buying the property, like selling their property with, and watch things happen on the day that you chase the estate agents. What might happen as well is the estate agents might not like you very much. near the end because you're chasing them all the time, because you can't chase the seller's solicitor. Don't worry about this. If the person who is handling your case starts, ignoring your calls, forwarding your messages, not calling you back, when you call them, just say, I would like to speak to someone else about the situation because the person handling our case is ignoring us and we're finding it really, really hard, very frustrating that no one is getting back to us. That's what you need to do. The third point is hidden costs and how much everything costs in general. When you're wanting to get a mortgage and buy your own house, make sure you have enough savings and then double that number in your head. No, I'm joking. Don't double the number, but you have to make sure that you have at least 5% deposit. That's a no-brainer. And you have to do this before you start looking at houses, right? When you have your deposit, great, fantastic. There's other things you need to pay for too. The solicitor's fees are so expensive. I didn't realise how high they were. I think we're spending £1,750. Now, the great thing about this is you don't actually have to pay that until after the mortgage gets set up. You actually do pay this with all your other deposit money. So this is nearer the end of the process. So you don't need to pay this up front. Don't worry about that. It's just something to bear in mind when you do send across the deposit money in the weeks, months, however long it takes you to, do all the searches and everything. Then you add that basically into the funds that you're sending as the deposit money. Plus, there's also other fees such as survey costs. So you'll have to spend this fairly early on. We did a level 2 home survey, and this is something as well that you have to do yourself. You have to actively look for surveyors in the area, organise it with them and say we need a house that we're buying surveyed. Then you call the estate agents and get this organised. So they'll speak to the sellers directly and then they'll get the date planned and you'll get the results. Now, you get 3 different levels here in England anyways. The first level is the very basic and I think it's about £350, something like that. And yeah, you don't get like really in-depth searches with that. And then you get the second, which is, I think it's called the home buyer survey, and that is the most common. Most people go for this because it's a bit more detailed. You do have to spend a bit more money, but it's worth it because it will pick up things that the basic one doesn't, and you don't want to buy a very expensive house and then find out in a few years' time that there was something that could have been picked up in the survey. So the cost for this was £650, which seems like a lot, but it's an early fee that you have to pay. You can go through the house buying process without a survey, but please don't do this. You hear absolute horror stories. It's just for peace of mind, this is what we done anyways, and take the advice from your solicitor. The third type as well is the much more detailed search, and I think this goes up to like £1,000. But these are searches that you probably do on houses that need like a lot of renovation, or they're really, really old, or when it's literally falling apart, and you basically don't want to be stung with something that's like really, really bad. So yeah, definitely get number 3 if your house is very, very old that you're buying, or just get advice from your solicitor. They will know what's best. And point number 4 is the emotional roller coaster. You have to be prepared for this. You are going to be up, down, up, down. Your offer gets accepted, amazing, you feel great. And then you have 5 weeks delay, crash again. You get loads of searches back, up again. You're now waiting another 6 weeks for one inquiry, down again. It is like this, guys. You need to really take care of yourself because it is a super stressful time. My suggestions that have really helped me: going for a walk after work. If things get really, really stressful, take yourself out, take like half an hour walk. I know it's bloody freezing here in England at the moment, but please get outside, get some fresh air, stick on a podcast, stick on your favorite music, and just try and walk it off. That has helped me so much. Another thing that's helped me is journaling. If you don't do this already, I really suggest you do. I love getting all my thoughts out on paper, and I'll look back at it and go, I can't believe I was feeling that way, but it empties my brain. If I'm overthinking something or I'm stressed about something, I will write it down and then it's done. It's like I breathe it out my body through the pen and paper. It is amazing and it's helped me so much. But yeah, it has been so stressful. And it will be stressful and it will be different for everyone in different ways. You know, if you're buying and selling, I could not imagine how much harder that is. Like, hats off to anyone that's done that. It is an emotional roller coaster. Just be prepared. And the final point is location. Location is so important. Like, you have to really, really think about the house that you're buying, and you know, will you be in there in 5-10 years? Will you be happy with not being able to walk down to the shops to get some milk on a random Tuesday afternoon? Do you have to jump in the car to drive to the train station? You know, are you close to local schools? If you haven't got kids yet, that is something to bear in mind at this process, because, you know, once you've gone through this whole thing, I mean, me personally, I don't want to move ever again. But I know it will happen another time in my life, but I am now prepared for the stresses of it. So the location of the house you want to buy is so important. So please do bear that in mind when you are viewing houses. Just take that into consideration, because you're going to be in this place for probably a long time. And I think after you've gone through this process and you've seen how stressful it can be, you are going to really appreciate exactly where your house is and the fact that you could be there for a very long time, because who wants to move after this process? Like, definitely not me. And that wraps up a few of the things that I kind of wish I knew sooner, and things that I have learned throughout this process. And there are so many more, guys. Like, there are so many things I've learned that I will definitely do more of these videos, because, you know, if there's something that's helped me, I hope that it can help someone else too, because we need to support each other through one of the most stressful things in our life. Guys, no matter how frustrating it is, there is light at the end of the tunnel. Please, please, please hang in there. Like, things will get better. And you won't even remember this stress when you have the keys and you're in your house. You have to just try and picture it, imagine it, and breathe through it. Do things that make you happy. You know, you will laugh about this one day, and so will I. Like, it has been a very stressful 4 months, but I know that in like a few months' time, we're going to be laughing, and I'll look back at my videos and go, I can't believe I was thinking that back then. So everything happens for a reason. Hang in there. Things will get better. Just trust the process, accept the process, go with the flow with the process. And yeah, hopefully you found something in there useful. And I wish you the best of luck if you are currently going through the process of buying your first house. And I really hope it doesn't take a long time for you. And just trust that it will all come together in the end. If you have any questions about my journey specifically, I will do my best to answer them. I am no expert in this, guys. I'm just a first-time buyer, probably exactly the same as you. So, you know, I will try my best to answer any questions that I can. So yeah, I hope something in here helped, and I will see you again next time, guys. Bye!